Hey there, amazing story lovers. Welcome back to the channel where we dive deep into the tales that shape our hearts. Today, we're unwrapping a classic that proves true beauty lies far beneath the surface. Get ready for the enchanting story of Beauty and the Beast. Grab a cozy blanket, maybe a warm drink, and let's get lost in this magical world. Once upon a time, not so very long ago in a bustling town, there lived a very wealthy merchant. Now, this merchant had 3 daughters, and while they all shared his blood, their personalities couldn't have been more different. The 2 older sisters, oh, they were quite the pair. They loved the finest silks, the most glittering jewels, and absolutely every luxury their father's fortune could buy. Their days were filled with fashion and fuss, always wanting more, more, more. But then there was the youngest, a gentle soul named Beauty. She was truly special. Forget the fancy gowns. Beauty asked for nothing more than fascinating books to read, sweet songs to sing, and vibrant gardens bursting with flowers. Her sisters would often scoff at her simple pleasures, but the townsfolk, they admired Beauty for her humble heart and that quiet grace she carried so beautifully. For many years, life was comfortable, filled with laughter and the easy rhythm of wealth. But life, as we know, can sometimes take an unexpected turn. One stormy, treacherous night, the merchant's ships, laden with his entire fortune, were lost at sea. Just like that, in a single, devastating breath of the waves, everything vanished. The grand mansion, the servants, the endless luxuries, all gone. The family was forced to leave their lavish home and move into a small, simple country cottage. You can imagine the uproar from the elder sisters. They complained bitterly every single day, mourning their lost fortune and their vanished social standing. But Beauty, with her incredible, cheerful spirit, was a beacon of light. She soothed her father's sorrow, sweeping the hearth, tending the small garden, and singing melodies that filled their humble dwelling with warmth and hope. She never asked for anything for herself, only her father's happiness. That was her greatest wish. Winter arrived, blanketing the countryside in a cold, silent hush. Then, a glimmer of hope. Word arrived that one of the merchant's ships, miraculously, had returned to harbor. A spark of excitement ignited in his weary heart, and he prepared to ride out and reclaim whatever he could. Before he left, he turned to his daughters, asking what gift they would desire if fortune smiled upon him once more. "Bring me the finest silks and the most sparkling jewels," demanded the eldest, her eyes gleaming with greed. "A magnificent necklace of pearls, father," cried the second, already imagining herself adorned. But Beauty, with her quiet, knowing smile, simply said, "Father, please, just bring me a single rose. None grow here in this harsh winter, and its beauty would be a comfort." The merchant promised, and with that he set off, hope his only companion. Yet, when he reached the harbor, his heart sank. His ship had been plundered, everything stolen. Penniless and utterly weary, he began the long, dark journey home through a dense forest. Snow began to fall heavily, thick and fast, and soon he lost his way. Hours passed, the cold seeping into his bones, until at last a colossal iron gate loomed before him in the swirling snow. He pushed it open, and, to his utter astonishment, found himself in a magnificent, glowing garden. Even in the depths of winter, roses bloomed, vibrant and fragrant as if it were eternal spring. The world outside lay frozen, but here it was alive with light and color. Astonished, the merchant wandered further inside and discovered a palace of breathtaking beauty, grand and majestic. Though not a single servant appeared, he found a table laden with the most delicious food and wine, a roaring fire crackling warmly in a grand fireplace, and a plush bed already prepared for him. Grateful beyond words, he rested there, feeling a strange sense of wonder and comfort in this mysterious place. The next morning, refreshed and ready to continue his journey home, he remembered Beauty's simple request. He stepped into the enchanted garden, where roses bloomed in impossible splendor. He carefully plucked a single, perfect rose, its petals soft and velvety. But at that very instant, the ground beneath his feet trembled violently, and a fearsome roar, deep and guttural, echoed through the garden, making his blood run cold. From the dark shadows of the palace a creature unlike any he had ever imagined emerged. He was taller than any man, his body covered in thick, dark fur, with terrifying claws, sharp fangs, and eyes that burned like glowing coals in the dim light. "Thief!" the beast thundered, his voice shaking the very air. "I offered you warmth, food, and shelter, and this is how you repay my kindness? By stealing my precious roses?" The merchant fell to his knees in sheer terror, his heart pounding against his ribs. "Forgive me, noble sir," he pleaded, his voice trembling. "The rose. It is for my youngest daughter, Beauty. She wished for nothing else." The beast's gaze seemed to soften, though his voice still rumbled like distant thunder. "If it is truly for her, then your life may be spared," he said, a strange condition hanging heavy in the air. "But only on one condition. You must send your daughter to live here in your place. If she refuses, you shall surely die." The merchant trembled, but the beast allowed him to return home, carrying the fragile rose. As he departed, the great iron gates closed behind him with a sound that echoed like the toll of doom. When the merchant finally reached home, exhausted and heartbroken, he told his daughters everything that had transpired. The elder sisters shrieked with a mix of fear and anger, their faces paling. "You shall not sacrifice us to that monstrous creature," they cried, hiding behind each other. But Beauty, ever calm and courageous, took the single rose in her hand, its petals a vibrant splash of color against her pale skin. "Father," she said, her voice steady and clear, "you have shown me kindness my entire life. Now please, let me repay it. I will go to the beast's castle in your place." The merchant wept, begging her not to go, pleading with her to reconsider, but Beauty's heart was steadfast, unwavering in her resolve. And so, with her father's tearful blessing, Beauty rode towards the enchanted, imposing palace. As she approached, the great gates opened as if by magic, welcoming her. The vast halls inside glowed with warm candlelight, and a magnificent table was set for a grand feast, as if expecting her. Though she was undeniably frightened, a strange feeling washed over her, a sense that no harm would come to her here. That evening, the beast appeared. His massive, furred form seemed to fill the entire room, a formidable presence. Yet his voice, though deep and resonant, was strangely gentle, almost kind. "Do not be afraid, Beauty," he said, his gaze fixed on her. "Here you will want for nothing. All I ask is that you dine with me each and every night." Beauty, summoning all her courage, agreed. Despite his terrifying appearance, she saw no cruelty in his eyes, only a profound sadness. Days melted into weeks, and Beauty settled into a strange rhythm within the enchanted palace. She spent her days exploring its endless, wondrous halls, losing herself in the grand library filled with countless books, strolling through the magical gardens where flowers bloomed year-round, and speaking with the beast each evening at supper. Though his appearance remained dreadful, slowly but surely, she began to see kindness in him. He listened intently to her stories, provided her with more books and music than she could ever desire, and, though he often sat in silence, his eyes softened visibly whenever she laughed, a genuine smile touching his monstrous face. But each night, as their meal came to an end, the beast would ask the same poignant question, his voice filled with a quiet hope. "Beauty, will you marry me?" And each night, with gentle honesty, she would reply, "No, beast, I cannot." His face would fall, a shadow passing over his features, yet he never grew angry. He would only sigh deeply and say, "As you wish." Still, Beauty's heart continued to soften. She found herself thinking of him more and more, not as a monster, but as a dear friend. She began to dream of him, and those dreams were not of fear, but of companionship. One day, the beast presented Beauty with a magnificent gift, a magic mirror. "Look into this glass," he told her, his voice soft, "and you may see anything your heart desires." Longing desperately for her father, Beauty gazed into the shimmering surface of the mirror and saw him. He was pale and terribly ill, alone in their humble cottage. Her heart ached with sorrow and worry. The Beast watched her silently for a moment, then spoke, his voice filled with compassion. "If you wish to go to him, you may. But promise me this, Beauty. Return within 7 days, or I shall surely die of grief." Beauty, her eyes filled with gratitude, promised. In a flash of magical light, she found herself back in her father's loving arms. He rejoiced to see her, tears streaming down his face, though he was frail and weak. Beauty lovingly cared for him, nursing him back to health, and with her constant presence, he grew stronger day by day. But her sisters, ever jealous, whispered conspiratorially to one another. "If she delays her return," one hissed, "the Beast will surely perish. Let us keep her here, and she will be free of him forever." They begged her to stay, weeping false tears, playing on her loving heart. Beauty, moved by their pleas, lingered beyond the 7th day, her promise slowly fading from her mind in the warmth of her family's embrace. Then, one night, she dreamed. She saw the Beast, lying alone and lifeless in the enchanted garden, dying beneath the rose bushes, his form still and cold. With a cry that tore through the silence of the night, she awoke, her heart pounding. "Oh, what have I done? My Beast is dying. I must go to him at once," she cried, realization dawning with a crushing weight. Through the magic of the mirror, Beauty returned instantly to the castle. The once vibrant halls were now silent, cloaked in an eerie stillness. The magical gardens, once so full of life, seemed overgrown and desolate. She ran through the thorny paths, her heart a frantic drumbeat, until she found him, stretched upon the ground, his eyes closed, his breath faint and shallow, barely there. She fell beside him, hot tears streaming down her face, her hands gently touching his furred cheek. "Beast, please, please do not leave me," she sobbed, her voice choked with emotion. "I thought you were only my friend, but now I know the truth. I love you. If only you will live, I will be your wife." At that very moment, a blinding, golden light erupted, filling the entire garden, enveloping the Beast. His massive form lifted into the air, spinning and swirling with incredible magic. When the brilliant light finally faded, where the Beast had lain, there stood a young prince, incredibly handsome and noble, gazing at her with eyes filled with profound gratitude and love. "Beauty," he said, his voice now rich and clear, taking her hand gently in his, "your true love has broken the terrible curse. I was once a selfish and arrogant man, transformed into a beast for my pride and unkindness. Only when someone could love me despite my ugliness, truly see beyond the surface, could I be set free." Beauty's heart swelled with an overwhelming joy. She had not only found deep kindness in the Beast, but a love more pure and precious than any treasure. The now human prince led Beauty into the palace, which instantly shone brighter than ever before. Servants, awakened from their long enchantment, bustled through the halls. Music filled the air with joyous melodies, and flowers bloomed in endless splendor, their fragrance sweet and intoxicating. Soon after, a grand wedding was held, a celebration fit for royalty. Beauty's father, fully recovered and beaming with pride, was honored as a cherished guest, and her jealous sisters, now truly humbled by Beauty's kindness and good fortune, could only watch as Beauty was crowned princess, her inner beauty shining even brighter than her new crown. From that glorious day forward, Beauty and the prince ruled their kingdom with wisdom, compassion, and a love that grew stronger with each passing year. She, who had asked only for a simple rose, had found a love more precious and enduring than any jewel, proving that true beauty and true love indeed come from within. And so Beauty and the prince lived happily ever after. Isn't that just the most heartwarming tale? It reminds us that appearances can be deceiving, and real kindness and love are the most powerful magic of all. What was your favorite part of Beauty's journey? Let me know in the comments below. If you loved diving into this classic with me, please give this video a big thumbs up, share it with a friend who needs a little magic in their day, and don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you never miss another enchanting story. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.